Bro, what do I do? Karma? If it wasn't obvious, Die of Death has a pretty big hitbox problem. Their hitboxes are in a really weird situation where they're not good at all, depending on what the scenario is. But realistically, I think this is all part of Saucify's plan. Like, if you really think about it, like, we had the old hitboxes, which were bad, and now we had the new ones, which were even worse, and now he reverted them. But even those, like, even though they're tweaked, they're still pretty bad. And I think this is all part of Saucify's little plan, because, well, why else would he make the hitboxes worse unless he wanted people to dislike the new hitboxes? That way he can just have it easier. Obviously, it comes down to debate whether Saucify really did do this out of his anger, or like the fact that he just didn't want to fix the hitboxes, which I doubt is the case, where most developers want their game to be good and their community to be happy with them. But really think about it, like, a lot of people don't like the hitboxes. People would continuously complain about it, and they had a point. They had a good reason to complain about the hitboxes. They're bad, they make the game worse, and they bring down the overall experience. So as a player they should like tell the developers, hey, fix this part of your game. You have a good game going on here, but this major issue, it's ruining your game. So instead of doing that, the update comes along. It's a good the update comes along. They reworked a bunch of stuff. Depending on how you play the game, you might think it's better or worse. But the one thing people mostly hope for was better hitboxes. And you look at the hitboxes and wow, they're bad. That's it. And it's kind of shocking to see that instead of focusing more time on hitboxes, they spend time working on other things, which confuses you because why? Hitboxes were, they should be one of your main priorities, but instead of doing that, you focused on working on skins, reworking maps, which is reasonable, adding abilities, but just not hitboxes. Or you did work on those, but it seems like you just put in like 10 minutes of work, put that out, and, well, I mean, looks like the old hitboxes were better. I mean, I don't know, I'm just saying, like, if these hitboxes are pretty bad, I'm just saying, bro. But, like, really think about that. Saucify, why go through the trouble of seeing people just dislike the update because of hitboxes, saying, oh, well, we're just gonna change them back, bro. It looks like the old ones weren't that bad anyways. And then, oh, there you go. You have your cake and you ate it too, bro. You got to get people to complain about new hitboxes, and you got to have your old hitboxes back, which is a few little changes. And even with the new hitboxes, I still found the problem with them. Look, I'll play you this clip right here. Look, check this out. Okay, I get hit, and then there, right there, I take another hit. How? Genuinely, he was nowhere on my screen. He's behind the corner, and I still take that hit, and I take another hit, and I got what? Like, realistically, how is that? Why is that fair? Really, why is that fair? Look at this clip. Look, right there. He's nowhere to be seen. There's his arm for a few frames, and then boom, right there. How does that land? Like, this is what I'm telling you, bro. This is all part of his plan, bro. Like he gave us exactly what we wanted. We wanted the hitboxes to be moved forward. He moved the hitboxes forward, but now they don't make sense again. So, Saucify, I don't know. Even though the hitboxes didn't change, I think it's still reasonable to hold Saucify accountable. It obviously seems like you did this for a reason, and unless you really did make a mistake and you weren't trying to be petty, which I kind of doubt because of the evidence pointing at the fact that you just wanted to keep the old hitboxes and didn't want to change them, there should be some reason to hold him accountable. Why do we just get the short end of the stick with these half-ass hitboxes and you just get away with it? It doesn't really seem fair. So Saucify, you gotta think straight, man. That's really what I'm saying. You can't let your emotions get to you and let it ruin your game, because people love your game. That is a fact. People really do enjoy your game. And as someone who loves Forsaken, I love Die of Death, and I'm starting to see how much better Die of Death is than Forsaken. But with this hitboxes, you're just gonna drive your player base away because you show that you're petty enough to ruin part of your game. Something that the community has shown is a big problem, but you still refuse to change it. And on top of that, you do it in a petty way. There's a reason I'm calling this Saucify's evil plan, because this is something that other companies or other games have done before, where they just ruin something and then they change it back to normal, so there's less reason to change it. But in this case, it's not good. In other cases, games have showed the reason why something needs to be that way. They had a good system, people complain about it, they gave the community what they wanted, and they realized they hated it. But in Die of Death's situation, it's not like that. People show that they don't like the hitboxes, they worsen the hitboxes, they change it back, but the hitboxes are still bad. There's no progress being made. Die of Death is a good game that really shouldn't be held back because of these problems. And keeping these problems in the game just shows that maybe the development team needs to be checked out or held accountable. Like I've said, if the game just keeps going on like this, what should you expect in a couple more months? That the hitboxes are still bad, and because they refuse to change the hitboxes, it just stays that way and the game just keeps losing players, even though this should be one of the biggest updates that lead more players to play the game. But instead it just discourages them, because starting up the game, you already have a difficult time because of hitboxes. It's not healthy for a game, and especially not good when this is supposed to be your big revival after 10 months. It's not good for the game, it's not good for the player base, and it's definitely not good for Saucify if he's the one running the game. At the end of the day, Die of Death is a good game that just needs its hitboxes reworked or fixed. Just whatever it needs for Die of Death to come back from this and be the best asym game ever. Anyways, that's about it. I just want to talk about this because this tactic has been used before, but in this case, it just really doesn't do anything to help out Die of Death in any way. So I think Saucify should just be held accountable to some of this. At the end of the day, it's his game. Let him do what he wants, but, you know, make sure he knows what he's doing. Anyways, that's it.